Hey guys, today I'll show you a science fiction thriller film named Uglies. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie is set in a near-future world where once people turn 16, they gain the opportunity for a complete transformation, both inside and out. Not only can their appearance be altered at will according to their preferences, but they can also live in a dreamlike city resembling a paradise. The protagonist, Tally, is just 3 months shy of her 16th birthday and eagerly awaits that day. Since childhood, Tally has been living in a boarding school away from her parents. Though her basic needs are met, she has always been dissatisfied with her looks. A boy named Paris shares her sentiments about his own appearance, and the two quickly become inseparable friends. What sets them slightly apart is that Paris is 3 months older than Tally. Tomorrow, he will undergo the transformation surgery. Together, they gaze at the radiant dream city and promise to remain best friends no matter how they change. To reassure Tally, Paris vows to meet her 1 month later, outside the dream city. The next day arrives. All students gather at the school auditorium, where a massive holographic figure of Dr. Cable, the head of the Dream City, appears on the stage. Dr. Cable is there to welcome the students who have turned 16. As usual, she recounts the origin story of the Dream City. Hundreds of years ago, humanity's over-reliance on fossil fuels caused severe environmental degradation. Scientists used biotechnology to create a genetically modified flower, which provided humanity with a continuous supply of clean energy. However, this innovation could not resolve the greatest issue in the world, social inequality. Thus, the Dream City was born. Here, residents undergo a transformation at the age of 16, becoming healthy, happy, and beautiful, perfect humans. With no flaws, inequalities vanish. After the speech, Tally and Paris bid each other a reluctant farewell. That night, as she gazes at the dazzling Dream City, Tally feels, for the first time, that it resembles a cold prison. Finally, the day of their reunion arrives. Tally heads early to their meeting spot, but Paris never shows up. Concerned something might have happened to her friend, Tally defies the rules and sneaks to the city's outskirts. On a bridge, she sees someone discard a mask. Tally picks it up and instinctively puts it on, undergoing an instant transformation, exuding an elegance far beyond her years. Summoning her courage, Tally steps into the city, which is as magnificent as the legends described, a dreamlike human paradise. Amid the bustling crowd, she spots a familiar figure, her friend Paris, now with enhanced features. Tally eagerly removes her mask, but Paris's cold, indifferent gaze stuns her spine and butt, as if he has forgotten their promise made a month ago. Suddenly, alarms blare in the sky. Tally's unauthorized presence is discovered. She rushes to a vending machine, grabs a bungee vest, and leaps from the rooftop just as security ships close in. After several jumps, she lands smoothly on the ground and flees the city. But the security ships continue their relentless pursuit. Just as Tally runs out of options, a girl appears and pulls her onto a hoverboard. With a series of skillful aerial maneuvers, they return safely to the school dormitory. Hearing about Tally's escapade in the Dream City, the girl is awestruck, as the city is a strictly forbidden zone. Through their conversation, Tally learns that the girl's name is Shay, a notorious rebel at the school. Tally, a model student, can't help but be drawn to Shay's unique aura. At Shay's urging, Tally skips class for the first time to try outdoor hoverboarding. When Tally sheepishly returns to the classroom, Shay slips her a paper book, another forbidden item in the school. Tally's face turned pale with nervousness. Only after returning to her dorm did she dare to take out the book and read it. As she flipped through the pages, she couldn't help but fall into deep thought, wondering if there really was a world entirely different from the Dream City outside. Shay never answered her questions directly, and instead kept dragging Tally along to practice hoverboarding. Virtual technology had advanced to an extraordinary level, and with this auxiliary gadget, Tally's hoverboarding skills improved by leaps and bounds. One afternoon, Shay took her beyond the school's boundaries. Passing through towering mountains, they reached an abandoned city. Shay, familiar with the area, led Tally up a tall building. Suddenly, she spoke in a serious tone, asking Tally to promise to keep everything she saw a secret. She then used flint to ignite a campfire. Tally was stunned. She had read about this in the forbidden book, but what Shay revealed next was even more shocking. Shay claimed the world described in the book was real. She explained there was another choice in life, to refuse the transformation surgery and seek true freedom in the world outside. Shay told Tally that even though people in the Dream City became beautiful, their actions were strictly governed by rigid rules. She urged Tally to join her in escaping to the free land, but Tally couldn't accept this idea. She had been raised to believe in the dream city's beauty and didn't want to give up the chance to become beautiful. Seeing Tally's hesitation, Shay reluctantly accepted her decision. Before leaving, she handed Tally a coded map and told her to come find her if she ever changed her mind. Shay then soared away on her hoverboard. Tally was filled with a sense of loss, but her 16th birthday soon arrived. Finally, she could go to the dream city, fulfilling her long-held wish. However, to her surprise, while her peers were taken for their transformation surgeries, Tally was escorted by a figure in an official uniform to a car. Soon they arrived at the city's administrative headquarters. Tally was overwhelmed with anxiety, thinking she was about to be punished for sneaking into the city. Just as she was about to confess, Dr. Cable brought up something entirely different. Dr. Cable revealed that she had long suspected Shay's suspicious behavior, believing she had been influenced by outside forces. Dr. Cable offered Tally a deal. If she disclosed Shay's whereabouts, she could undergo the transformation immediately. Tally refused to betray her friend, remaining silent under the pressure. She was then sent back to school. That night, Paris visited Tally secretly. This time, she was warm and enthusiastic, unlike her previous indifference. Paris told Tally that Shay had been deceived and was now in danger. If Tally truly valued their friendship, she should bring Shay back. Moved by these words, Tally reconsidered and sought Dr. Cable the next day. Dr. Cable, though pleased, maintained a stern demeanor. She explained that the free land Shay wanted to reach was developing weapons against the Dream City. She asked Tally to act as an undercover agent to locate the free land's base. Dr. Cable handed Tally a necklace for transmitting signals. Naive and bewildered, Tally agreed to the task, though her real goal was to rescue Shay. Using Shay's coded map, Tally ventured into the wilderness beyond the school. She survived using the survival skills Shay had taught her, cooking when hungry and leaping over obstacles with her hoverboard. After days of travel, she reached the map's destination, a field of modified flowers, the plants that provided clean energy. Exhausted, Tally fell asleep, only to wake up coughing from thick smoke. The orchids were ablaze. As Tally panicked, a figure rushed through the flames to rescue her. The man, introducing himself as David, a guide of the Freeland, skillfully dismantled the tracker on Tally's hoverboard and checked her for any other devices. Finding nothing suspicious, he brought Tally to a safe house where she was reunited with Shay. Overwhelmed with emotion, Tally nearly jumped with joy, but Shay looked far from being under duress. Tally hesitantly revealed her mission, to bring Shay back to the Dream City. Shay's expression turned cold. Disappointed, she urged Tally to stay and experience the freedom for herself. As newcomers, they had to remain in the outpost for observation. The group's next mission was to burn more modified flowers. Tally, recalling the previous fire, realized it must have been David's doing. David confirmed this, explaining that the flowers didn't provide energy but instead drained nutrients from the soil. Left unchecked, they would turn the Earth's surface into a wasteland. Skeptical, Tally was taken by Shay on a helicopter to see the truth. From above, Tally saw how the flower fields turned into barren deserts. Now, the group had to stop the modified flowers from consuming a nearby forest. Shay wielded a flamethrower, destroying the flowers on a large scale. Suddenly, surveillance detected two figures approaching rapidly. While looking back, Shay was accidentally knocked off the helicopter by a rope. Without hesitation, Tally climbed down the rope to rescue Shay. Amid the flames, she found her injured friend. Two patrol soldiers from the Dream City closed in, but Shay tossed her backpack to block them. Seizing the chance, Tally hauled Shay up the rope and back to the helicopter. At the outpost, David and the others were baffled by how the Dream City's patrol had tracked them. Tally then learned the shocking truth. The modified flowers were cultivated by the Dream City to destroy the land, ensuring their city would remain the only habitable place. With their location compromised, the group retreated to their main base. Tally's bravery during the mission earned her reluctant acceptance among the Free Land members. The next morning, Tally was blindfolded and led to a waterfall. She had finally arrived in the fabled Free Land. The food here had to be grown by the people themselves, but it tasted far better than anything she had at school. Though everyone had to contribute labor, they wore smiles on their faces because they were free to do whatever they wanted. Unlike in the Dream City, where even stepping outside at night had to be done in secrecy, Tally felt a sense of freedom she hadn't known existed. Once again, Tally felt that maybe the Dream City wasn't as perfect as it was portrayed. Yet there was still a hurdle she couldn't get over. She decided to confront David and ask if he was developing weapons to destroy the Dream City. David didn't answer right away. Instead, he took her to a secluded wooden house where she met an older couple. To her surprise, they were David's parents, and they were the authors of the forbidden book she had seen in school. But the shock didn't stop there. David's parents had once been the chief scientists in the Dream City. On a visit to the medical database, they had stumbled upon a huge secret. While the Dream City was transforming its residents, it was also damaging their brain cortex, making them slower to react and creating a false sense of happiness. The high-ranking officials secretly took an antidote, using it to control the population. David's parents, dissatisfied with this, had fled with the antidote, but after all these years, they hadn't been able to recreate the antidote without the original samples. Tally now knew that David's parents weren't lying. She couldn't believe how heartless the Dream City had become. In anger, she ripped off the signal transmitter Dr. Cable had given her and tossed it into the fire, not noticing that the pendant emitted a faint blue glow. The next morning, a fleet of ships arrived above the free land. The Dream City had launched an attack. The soldiers they sent were clearly enhanced, far superior in speed and strength. It didn't take long before they captured all the residents. Tally and David had managed to escape the night before, and as they watched from a distance, they saw Dr. Cable descend from her ship. This woman had a deep grudge against David's parents, and she ordered her subordinates to kill David's father and send him to meet Satan. At that moment, Tally realized they couldn't hide anymore. When they rushed into the center of the scene, they were horrified to find that the soldier who had attacked was none other than Paris, Tally's old friend. His cold, detached gaze made him seem like a stranger. Dr. Cable, full of arrogance, thanked Tally for the location she had provided. The crowd of residents erupted in outrage, with Shay being the angriest. Tally's face went pale as she realized that no matter how much she explained, it wouldn't matter now. In despair, she turned and rushed into the wooden house, quickly setting the fire. As she jumped out through the back door, the house exploded violently. In the chaos, David seized the opportunity to escape. Dr. Cable, confident that they wouldn't cause any further trouble, didn't order her men to pursue. She set the house on fire and left with all the captured residents on her ships. David, hiding in a cave, was furious. He wanted to strangle Tally's sexy body for what had happened, but now it was too late. He had to make up for his mistake through actions, and the immediate priority was to rescue the captured residents. Soon, they stealthily infiltrated the Dream City's school. Many students there were sympathetic to the free land, so Tally asked them to help cause a distraction. For these energetic students, it was an easy task. As most of the ships were sent out to quell the chaos, Tally and David snuck into the heart of the city on their hoverboards. They bypassed the guards and reached the prison entrance. David knocked out a guard and gained access to the cell doors. They finally found the prisoners, but Shay was not among them. They were told she had already undergone the transformation. With a sliver of hope, Tally rushed into the surgery room only to find that Shay had already been altered. She was completely different, constantly flaunting her newfound beauty. Tally and David exchanged helpless glances, unsure of what to do. At that moment, Dr. Cable and her guards entered the room. She forced the three of them into a glass chamber, preparing to have them undergo the transformation as well. Just as things looked bleak, David's mother arrived in a fire helicopter, and the surgery room was immediately engulfed in flames. In the chaos, David's mother snatched the original sample from the refrigerated cabinet. The group rushed out of the surgery room but ran into the transformed soldier Paris. Tally tried to reach out to her old friend, but he was intent on killing her. Fortunately, David intervened in time. With Tally's help, Paris was pushed off the balcony. The group quickly escaped the Dream City. Once they confirmed the ships weren't chasing them, David's mother had some good news. With the original sample and the serum they had already developed, she was confident they could create an antidote for the brain damage. This meant that Shay could be saved. However, before they could begin, someone had to verify the antidote's effectiveness. Tally, burdened by the guilt of her actions, decided to take responsibility. After everyone left, she approached Dr. Cable and surrendered, offering to undergo the transformation surgery. In the final scene, Tally woke up in a luxurious bedroom. Her features and appearance were now exactly as she had always imagined them. But the question remained, would Tally still be willing to participate in the antidote experiment? This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.